75 days, no excuses. This challenge changed my life. 75 Hard was created by Andy Frisella, who also created a book. It's a tactical guide to overcoming and becoming your best self. The overall focus of the challenge is it's not just a physical challenge, it's more of a mental toughness challenge. And at the end of it, you're supposed to 100 times these traits: self-confidence, self-esteem, self-worth, grittiness, and just like pure discipline. So the rules of the challenge are you must follow 5 rules for 75 days. No cheating. If you mess up, you have to start over again. No ifs, ands, or buts. You just start over again. The first rule is you must follow a diet. No cheat meals. No alcohol. Second rule, you must work out 2 times a day, 45 minutes each workout. 1 must be outdoors. There's so many things you could do outside. You could run, walk, play volleyball, play basketball, roller skating. The options are limitless, but 1 must be outdoors. So something that can be a little bit more difficult during the winter time or the summer if you struggle in the heat. Third rule is you must drink a gallon of water. Fourth rule is you must read 10 pages of a self-development book. Not fiction, not fantasy, anything else. It has to be self-development. The 5th and final rule is you must take a progress picture every single day. If you fail any of these, you have to start over. Let me tell you why I decided to do this challenge. It's been a rough year for me, honestly. I thought 2024 was going to be my year. The word I had down was fulfillment. I was going to buy a house and having the career of my life and accomplishing all these things. Life didn't work out that way. I put a deposit on my home and 3 days later found out that I was laid off. I had to pivot really fast because I had this dream of buying a home in 2024 and I was like, no matter what, I'm going to accomplish it. Like, I can do anything that I put my mind to. So I reached out to my network and I had interviews lined up the next week and I met with a startup founder. Ended up going that route. It was amazing. I became the front-end engineering lead. I learned so much as a leader, as a developer. Unfortunately, the startup is now on ice, and that decision honestly took a toll on me. I honestly spiraled mentally. I don't think I ever got the time to really I never really got the time to process the layoff and even buying a home. Like, it didn't even feel real. And then to have that happen, I just needed like a month to really like figure myself out. But in that month, I found myself practicing bad habits, like not waking up early and not being consistent in the gym and not doing my reading. And this is actually the 2nd time that I've done 75 Hard, but I decided to do it again because I felt like I wanted that discipline. I needed to push myself. I needed something to look forward to. I'm so happy that I did it. I feel amazing. I feel like my body's in the best shape that it's ever been. I feel like my habits are just incredible. I feel like I grew. Oh my gosh. Oh, Cora. My mind is in the most incredible mental state that it's ever been. I feel like nothing can break me, and that, you know, truly whatever happens, I can get through anything. So I'm really beyond happy that I did it. So to quickly touch on my starting points, when I first started, my fitness levels, I would say pretty good. I was working out 5 times a week. My mental state was not so great, as I already mentioned. My eating habits and lifestyle, also not so great. There'd be days where I'd be stressed and I just would not eat, and that's a big problem that I have, is it'll be like 2 p.m. and I am just now eating like my first meal of the day, sometimes 5 p.m. and that's really bad for your body. What motivated me to take on this challenge is I really wanted to show myself that I can put my mind to something and I can do it, and I wanted to lose 1% body fat. I don't have a weight goal, but I did want to lose 1% body fat because that's something that I've been trying to do for a while now, and it's really just my nutrition that was so bad. Me not eating and eating at different times of the day and then binge eating, just not so great. It's like all those days that you put into the gym go to waste basically when your nutrition doesn't back up. Honestly, I developed the discipline to work out like almost every day, and I just didn't develop that same discipline for nutrition, and I would develop really bad habits when I was stressed or working. And yeah, when your nutrition doesn't align with your fitness, you're not going to reach your goals. Simply said. I chose a diet that was very simple, easy to follow, something that wouldn't take up too much time out of the day and would meet my fitness goals, which were to lose body fat and regulate my hormones and my bowel movements. So I opted for a diet that was minimum of 100 grams of protein every single day, added salad for increased fiber and regulating my bowel movements, as I said, and also regulating hormones. And so I was very conscious of what I was eating at each part of my cycle, and also tracked my cycle for the first time ever. Don't know why it took me 26 years to do this. Also, as part of my diet was no processed foods or no added sugars. Only buy stuff in the produce or the meats or dairy area. For my water intake, I am only 5'2" and 113 now. I only drank 80 ounces of water. I think you should drink the water equivalent to what your body needs. Not force yourself to drink a gallon, because too much water can also be bad for you. The 10 pages of reading, I chose self-development books, which are honestly my favorite to read anyways, and I was so happy about this one. For my workouts, I really love the WeGlow app. It's created by Steph Williams, a fitness influencer that I really adore and look up to. She's 35 and her body is amazing. I really love the app because there's a mix of guides or challenges that you can follow, or if you want to just pick out workouts that are Pilates, strength training, bar, yoga, meditation. There's even nutrition in here. I went with the Ignite Glute Guide that was 8 weeks long, and then I also did the Summer Sculpt Challenge, which was 6 weeks long, and those are the two guides and challenges that I did during the 75 days, which I freaking loved. It consisted of 2 to 3 days of Pilates, 2 to 3 days of strength training, and then on the rest days that the guide did not have a specific workout for, I would do yoga or full body cardio, HIIT, something like that. And it made it really easy to just add a workout to the calendar. Taking a progress photo, I just followed that to the T. I usually posted my progress photos on Instagram or X. To track my days, I used a calendar, a paper calendar, and I would just write the habits and then X off each day, and I just did that. Some people use a sticky note where you take out 75 sticky notes and then you pull off each one as you do each day. So I actually had to start over. I started it September 3rd, which was timed perfectly. I timed it to be after Labor Day or Memorial Day, can't remember what is what, and then finish before Thanksgiving, before it starts to get cold, and so you can enjoy like a Thanksgiving feast after finishing. But I had some family come in, and my grandpa wanted to have a glass of wine, and I couldn't miss that opportunity with him, and I had a glass of wine with him, and I restarted. It's okay, it's not that serious. It's better to enjoy moments with your family that you don't know how many more you'll have. I don't feel any guilt. I just started over. Honestly, this being my second time around, the early days were not so bad. I would say get an accountability group, or at least one person that's going to be there with you, so that when you do have those days that you are struggling, you can struggle together. Misery loves company or something like that. But when you are struggling together, it's okay. You're struggling too. We're both gonna get through it. And you push each other, and that's what's so beautiful. The 75 Hard gives you a reason to reach out to someone, even someone new that you've never met before. Hey, do you want to do this with me? And then you're doing it together, and then you become good friends throughout the process. That's what I had happen. I reached out on Instagram, does anybody want to do this with me? A couple people said yes, and then we formed a group, and it's been like the best thing ever. I will say that As a woman, I feel like it's harder because you go through phases of your cycle, and some phases you don't feel as good as the other phases, and you have more of a hormonal emotional urge to give up, especially during your menstrual cycle. That can be really hard to keep pushing through and doing those workouts. But again, accountability buddies, if you're watching this and you need one, reach out to me. I'm more than happy. I would say the midpoint does get pretty tough though, because that excitement of I'm doing this challenge is gone, and you're just floating in the middle, like I'm so far from the end still. Do I continue? But that's when you really break through that mental toughness and force yourself. I've been doing this for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I gotta keep going. I already started this. I gotta keep going. And you just owe it to yourself, because at the end of the day, it's you versus you. There is no one that can make you do this other than yourself. The only person that can disappoint you in this scenario is yourself. And the only person that can fulfill you is yourself. So you really develop that relationship with yourself. Once you break through and get through those tough times, you develop this overwhelming confidence and self-belief in yourself that you really can't do anything that you put your mind to. So when moments got tough, that's what I remembered. And every day I'm reading 10 pages of self-development, right? Every day I'm reflecting back on what I just read. My camera died and now I'm using my phone. But the one thing that I wanted to talk about the most were my personal tips for success. And my favorite thing that I did was habit stacking. So that means you stack a habit that you're trying to do or trying to become a habit onto something that you already do every single day. So let's just use me for example. My habit is I wanted to make sure that I got 115 grams of protein in every single day. So this means I'm obviously going to need to eat more and throughout the day, so I'm not just eating a big fat meal and getting really bloated after and feeling really heavy. In order for me to do that, and I also wanted to eat a little protein before my workout because it's good for lowering your cholesterol or blood pressure. So I wanted to incorporate 2 eggs before my workout. How I used habit stacking is after I would brush my teeth and do my morning routine, and then I go and feed this guy, I would eat my 2 eggs as soon as I fed him. Isn't that right? I also wanted to read in the mornings, and so that's also when I would read in the morning. And so I'll just give you like how my day went, because my day was the same every single day. I would wake up at 5:30 or 6 a.m. Typically 5:30, 6 a.m. if I had a late night. Try not to sleep in more than that because I feel the most productive during the day. And I literally, like, as soon as I get up, even though it's 6 a.m. and I'm not used to waking up that early, because like I said, I had slept in until 10 or 11 back then. It's always a shock. Even for somebody who is a morning person, it's always a shock. So it was hard for me to get up at 6 a.m. those days, but as soon as I get up, and I use the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins, you literally just count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you jump out of bed. So that's how it works. So I would wake up at 5:30 a.m. and I would brush my teeth, do my skincare, and then I would go out and feed him. And then I would get my eggs, sprinkle salt and pepper on them, boiled eggs, by the way, which just made things a lot easier because I could meal prep that and not have to spend so much time cooking in the morning. So I'd eat my 2 boiled eggs, salt and pepper, and sit down with my book, reading my book, eating my eggs. And then I would go make my pre-workout and then work out. After my workout, I do my outdoor workout, which is always a walk. Sometimes it's basketball. Once it was pickleball. But most of the times it was just going for a walk and listening to my favorite podcast. So this gives you the perfect opportunity to get into podcasts, which I've never listened to podcasts before in my life. And I developed this habit of now listening to podcasts every day, and I feel so, I think that's also why my mental state feels better, is because I'm ingesting intellectual knowledge every morning, and I just feel better for it. Sometimes it's not like super intellectual, sometimes it's spiritual, and that's another thing, is I've been able to go on my spiritual journey and learn more about myself in that sense, which is a whole nother topic. But sometimes it's just podcasts that make you laugh and not think about too deep things. Sometimes it's just podcasts that give you a laugh and make your walk more enjoyable, because it did start to get tough when the weather dropped and I have to go out in my puffer jacket. The wind is blowing, it's 30 degrees. I hate the cold, but I've learned to appreciate it through the 75 hard. Just walking outside and seeing fresh air, sunshine, it's just beautiful. It really made me appreciate like all weather. Listening to these podcasts, I feel like I'm finding joy in the little things, and I really like that. I would listen to my podcast as I walk. I'd come home, I'd stretch, make sure you stretch your calves after you walk, and also stretch throughout the day. Oh my god, I totally forgot. I drink a protein shake after my workout, and then I go walk. Then I come back, I shower, and then I start working, and then 12 o'clock hits. I have the same thing every day. I have a yogurt with some berries, chia seeds, granola, and then a salad with cottage cheese as the dressing. I love cottage cheese, the best dressing replacement ever, because it's 16 grams of protein. Better than ranch, better than Italian dressing, better than anything. It's the best dressing out there, okay? Yeah, and so I'm eating my salad, which is part of my diet, getting my vegetables in with some grilled chicken. It's always bagged grilled chicken because I'm on a budget, and it's also high in protein. And then I continue working, and then I have dinner, which is usually another 30-40 grams of protein, whether it's ground turkey, rice, and bok choy that I meal prepped, or something similar along those lines where it's a protein, veggie, and carb, or something that Peter cooked for me because he loves cooking for me and I love eating his food. I would start winding down for the day around 8 p.m. I drink my peppermint tea, which is good for digestion and just relaxation and getting your mind in that mental state, getting prepared for bed. I know this is not a luxury that everyone has. We all have different lifestyles, but I truly believe that you can fit it in to whatever lifestyle that you have. You don't have to do the same exact things as me. Some people might work out at night, like your life will look completely different. The toughest times of the challenge were definitely when the weather got cold, and it made things a lot harder to get that outdoor walk or workout in because it's 30 degrees or it's raining, it's freezing. But I went out anyways, and I felt so good after that because people are like, you just went out there when it was freaking raining, and I'm like, yep, I did it. I'm a psycho, but I did it. And I feel so much better for it. Because this is my second time doing this, the biggest thing that I can say is not planning or preparing your day or your week. A teacher of mine said, never go into your days like an accident. Never do that, because then you're just lost. Then you don't accomplish your goals. This is probably the part that everyone has been waiting for. What were my results with the shoulder cap? No, I'm kidding. That has been a goal of mine for a while, is to have like more definition in my body, which will only come out from losing body fat. In total, it says I lost 5 pounds and about 1% body fat, which yay, I did it. I also use this app called Me 360 where it scans your body and gives you measurements and your body fat percentage and all that same metrics. It's saying I lost 3% body fat. So who knows which one is the real deal? I would only know if I went and got a DEXA scan. These are the affordable ways to track. Another goal of mine that I have wanted to do since I started my fitness journey 4 years ago is get my first pull-up. And I finally got my first pull-up. I could actually do 3. Yeah, so that's a big goal of mine. I'm really happy about that. Overall, I just feel better mentally, physically, everything. Like I mentioned before, I never tracked my cycle, and so that's something that was really important for me, is understanding my hormones and my body better. For any females watching this, I use Lively. It's a cycle tracking app that you can share with your partner. I love it. I think it's great. Would I recommend this challenge? Honestly, I would say it depends on where you are in your life. I will also say my posture got so much better from doing Pilates and strength training, and also just stretching throughout the day and hydrating. So I'm really proud of that. Mentally, as a person, I feel like I have more patience. One of my favorite parts of this challenge was reading this book again, How Rich Asians Think. I've read it before, but I just was so out of touch with all of the practices. So this book is actually an official publication of the Napoleon Hill Foundation, and the modern version of Think and Grow Rich, with some highlights on Asian culture. And at the end of every chapter, there are some quotes by some pretty famous Asian inspirations that I love. Success at anything will always come down to this: focus and effort, and we control both. Dwayne Johnson. I really love this book. I recommend it to everyone. It really retrained my brain again, retrained my subconscious by continuously injecting this information into my brain. So again, depending on your lifestyle, the challenge might be a little too intense or might not make sense for your goals. But I will say that doing a challenge and maybe just tweak it to your goals and your needs and your lifestyle that still challenges you, don't make it easy, is very beneficial for your mental and physical self. I do believe that we should be pushing ourselves every single day to become a better version of ourselves. And it doesn't always have to be like 100 times better every day, just 1% better every day. That's all you can ask for from yourself. And just really have patience and give yourself grace. If you mess up, just start over and you'll learn, and you'll be like, I really don't want to start over again. And that's when it'll kick in. You're like, I have to see it through. I made this promise to myself, I gotta keep it. As you keep the promise to yourself, like I said, your self-esteem, your self-worth will grow tremendously. So that's a wrap. I hope that you enjoyed this video, maybe learned something from it. If you are planning to start 75 Hard, please comment below. Or if you need an accountability buddy, reach out. It would mean the world to me to inspire someone else and be part of your journey. Coda! If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what I should do next. I'm sitting in my office right now. It's very empty. I'm thinking of maybe my next video is hiring a Fiverr designer to design my office. But yeah, bye.